Yes, Pragya is there.
Yes.
Yeah, hi. Hi, Smriti.
Hi, Pragya.
Hi, Abhi. Hi, Jugal.
Hi,
Hi,
good Pragya.
everyone. Yeah, hi, hi. Yeah, so let's begin now. People will keep joining in. So thank you, everyone, for joining. And this one is the fifth episode in the monthly webinar series brought to you by HT Smartcast. It's called Podcast Content Anxious. So we'll be looking at how these two worlds of podcasts and content are intertwined with each other. And HT Smartcast is the umbrella property of HT Media. We've got podcasts across genres, which include 40 plus genres and around 140 podcasts. So this is something that we've achieved in about a year's time. And apart from that, the flow of the webinar will go as follows. So I'll be asking some of my questions, and then I'll be taking some of the audience's questions. But first, introduction of the speakers. And yeah, so I'm Pragya and I lead marketing and partnerships at HT Smartcast. And with me are Smriti, Abir, and Jugal. So starting with Abir. Abir is leading the podcast vertically at ABP Network. He's also the owner of the podcast, the comedy one, PJ Vale Babu, and he's also had a lot of experience in the media industry, around 8 years of experience across various radio formats and podcast formats. Uh, moving on to Uh, Smriti now. Smriti is a blogger. She writes for Indian women. Her blog is called The Real uh, Girl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's an unfiltered lifestyle blog where she writes about Indian women. She's also a podcaster. And her podcast is called Real Talk with Smriti Madani, where she talks about mental health and adulting, etc., etc. So she's got a lot of experience in the content space, about a decade, ranging from advertising to digital publishing. Now moving on to Jugal. So Jugal is the business and content head at Pratilipi FM. Pratilipi FM has got thousands of hours of content, audio content, primarily in Hindi and regional languages, in all its 9 languages. And Jugal, prior to Pratilipi, has experience with various startups, including Mila and Upgrad. So thank you all for joining and welcome.
Thanks for
Thanks,
having us,
Pragya.
Pragya.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pragya. Thank you.
Yeah, so now moving on to the first question which I have in my mind is with respect to content, what is the one challenge that you people face? And I'll go one by one. Let's begin with Abir and then we move on to Smriti and Jugal. So, what is the one challenge that you faced with respect to content and how have you solved for it? Or how are you solving for it?
Firstly, thank you for having me here and inviting me to the webinar. Um, One thing is, when you have a brand name like ABP attached to you, you certainly need to uh, cater the right audience because ABP has been doing this from like ages. You have a set of loyal listeners, you have a set of loyal audience, and you certainly need to fulfill their needs, their expectations, and that is one challenge which we face on a regular basis. People walk into your platform expecting something else, and then there is a new product called podcast, and how exactly you will be able to cater to their needs, their expectations is something really difficult. But what we've been doing lately is we've been taking news and fusing it with fiction content, and that has turned out to be a pretty decent and very beautiful kind of combination. So yes, I believe it's all about experimenting, and that's the way forward. You don't have any other reference to check that इसने ये किया था, let's do this, because you are the only one who's starting it.
Mm-hmm. All right, all right. And what about you, Smriti? What challenges have you faced in the content planning and in the content space of your podcast as an individual content creator?
So that's a very fair question, Pragya, because I am, like you said, an individual content creator. So I kind of have to grow my brand from scratch, and there's, nothing attached to it. I think in that sense, with the podcast, firstly, I got into it at the right time when there were very few handpicked podcasts. Secondly, I have the backing of already having built Real Girl as my brand. So there was a blog. It kind of showed, people that firstly, this girl is serious. And secondly, the podcast is not a standalone thing. But one of the major challenges that I've always faced with regards to any content that I create is reach, right? Because as an individual, you don't have the right partnerships in place. You do not know how to be in the biggest platforms, etc. So yes, it's very important where the platform comes in, and they support you and they ensure that you get good reach, which to a large extent Hubhopper has done for me. But definitely till today, the biggest struggle in a cluttered content market is getting reach.
Right. Because there's so much of content. So how do you stand out? How do you reach? Right.
Yes, and also
Absolutely.
at the end of it, you're putting in everything to create content. So you do not want it to remain in the realm of, oh, my friends and my family and my parents are reading it or consuming it or listening to it. So you want to go beyond and you want to make your mark, because that's where you're putting in the effort. So definitely that space is where what I find the most challenging.
Right. And Jugal, moving on to you. What's your single biggest challenge at Pratilipy and how do you solve for it?
So see, at Pratilipy, since we are a platform per se, so our challenges come from both the demand side as well as from the supply side, right? As a platform, where is the content coming from, who all are creating? And then finally from the demand side, who all are actually, what our consumers want. So challenges are coming from both ends. So if you look at the demand side, what is happening is that, audio as a content consumption format is very, niche in India. It's very new in India. Not many people consume audio. Text has always been there. So when it became digitized, people started consuming it. Video was always there. People were watching TV. When it came up to, on the digital platforms, people started consuming it there. When it came down to audio in India, people were only consuming radio, which was only music and songs. So what happens is all these song-based platforms, which are Jio, Savan, you have those Ghana. So they have hundreds. I think the last time they mentioned it was 100 million DAO or MAU. I'm not really sure about the numbers, but such huge numbers. But in India, nobody really, there's no concept of, talk shows or narrative based fiction coming into the picture. So audio as a content consumption format is not really there. So as a demand side, we have to build it up, and that's a really big challenge. What is going to solve it is technology. Now, when I say technology, it basically means what are those mediums from where, audio can be propagated and more people can, kind of listen to audio. So you have these smart speaker systems coming out, you have Alexa coming out. You also have those AirPods coming out. So, they will kind of help in propagating the medium. So for us, technology is going to solve that problem from the demand side. When it comes to supply, the major problem that we are facing is that they're not really, the right content creator tools are not there in the market. Again, if you look at, images, earlier small cameras, DSLR and so on, and, not many creators out there. But then you have, those high-end smartphones coming in with a lot of high-end cameras. And then what you have is Instagram coming in, with a lot of right tools. All of a sudden, there's an explosion in the amount of content being created. Same thing happened in the video space as well, right content creation tools. And there you go, boom, a lot of people are consuming it as well. In the audio space, that has still not come about. The right content creation, tools which are available to a layman, who can kind of come and create. So that is of utmost importance for us. And that is something which, I feel, again, technology comes into the picture, which kind of, solves this problem. And the good part is, I'll just end this with saying that, if you look at TikTok, so 1% of TikTok's entire user base are actually their content creators. The rest of them are all just consumption. They're all just consumers. Now, the major problem why it's just 1% is because not many people are comfortable in front of the camera, putting themselves out. So in audio, once you get that happening, once you provide the right kind of tools, what you might see is an explosion. At least from that 1%, you're looking at least 10% coming in, 12% coming in, and that will kind of help in propagating. So it's the right content creator tools and of high quality, because in the audio space, it's a very new space, but what we are seeing right now is that quality really makes a huge mark, because it's right there in your ear. Any dog barking behind, any untoward noise that comes in, people really get irritated and kind of switch off. It's not like video on a spectrum, right? You'll watch the lowest content quality in terms of a TikTok for 30 seconds, but when it comes down to half an hour, you'll only prefer a Netflix or an Amazon Prime or a Disney Hotstar, right? So in terms of demand, people are fine with the spectrum of quality across the spectrum, right? In audio, what we're seeing is, no, it has to be of the highest quality or somewhere near that. So right content creation tools in the hands of laymen, and so that they can produce the highest quality of audio. That's where we kind of might start seeing an explosion in terms of audio.
Right. What are something very important that some people are camera shy and they might not be comfortable speaking on video, but they might be comfortable speaking in audio, which is why audio has a better chance of sort of explosion that you can see in terms of content creators. So,
Exactly.
Pratilipi FM mainly focuses on Hindi and regional language, right? So, why is it this way, and what is your strategy going forward? Would you like to expand into more languages? How are you looking at it?
Okay, so the idea of Pratilipi initially, right, as it flows from the core app. Pratilipi, when it started out 6 years back, it's a text-based platform, right? People come and write stories, and then the other side comes and reads. So it's a storytelling platform, but we started out over text, right? And what happened was that initially when we started out, the idea was the major problem that we were solving was that only English literature was available on on the internet, on digital platforms. Hindi, Malayalam, Tamil, Telugu were not there. So we bought it out. So our audience grew in that format, right? You have a lot of regional audiences coming in with, kind of those niches. So when we wanted to start audio, of course, the normal question was, how do we start out? So it's a very normal call for us that let's go regional, because that is where our audience lies. We understand that audience, and even they know us, right? Of course, there is a massive problem in terms of, kind of creating a new category altogether. Because like I said, audio narrative fiction, people are not used to listening to it, at least in these areas, right? English speaking audience, you have that top 1%, marketing may say K plus, who wants to who listens to podcasts, but they're mostly on Spotify and Google Podcasts and Apple. So those are already there. So, for us, it was more like, okay, we'll follow what we've already done, go into these niche languages, in these regional languages, and try to kind of grow there. And secondly, in terms of, strategy going forward, is that it's based on a lot of experimentation. Like Avir also mentioned that, we're trying out, for us, there are a lot of experiments happening. So by experiments, I mean, let's say we'll try out different content genres in each category. So for 1 month, we'll run IPL. For the second month, let's try out Bollywood, whether that works or not. For the third month, let's just try out horror. For the fourth month, try out something like that. The other experiments which we run are, okay, which narrator is working? Does narrator, having a high quality narrator make a difference? The third is, of course, we look at the content length. So, it's so early days, because we've seen, failures and successes in terms. So just to give you an example in terms of content length, there is this show called Paranormal Reality, which has been across platforms. It's a 45-minute to an hour per episode show. It has worked amazingly well across platforms, including our platform as well, right? Now you're talking about 45 minutes to 1 hour per show. At the same point of time, the others, the stories that come out, sometimes even 10 minutes doesn't work. Sometimes, 15 minutes, and people, we get feedback that, oh, 15 minutes, yeah, it's too long. Why will, I kind of listen to it, and so on. So we still to narrow down on the exact content niche, how long it should be, which genre is going to be exciting, which narrator do we get in. And it's very early days. We're experimenting around all these things. So I rather than having a very sharp strategy and saying that this is what I'm going to do, I would rather say that, I'll keep on experimenting. And if something really works out, we're going to take it forward accordingly.
Yeah. So you're saying it's more in the experimental stage as of now.
Exactly.
All right. So, Abir, you've had content in a lot of genres, right? I was looking at ABP Live podcast, and you have drama and diaries on one hand, and you have health mantra on the other. one very interesting name I thought was Akbar Ke Panno Se. So that's a huge range from news to mytho to health to some other genres. And I want to know from you, what are your learnings as of now in terms of content? Now, content can be seen from various perspectives. One is the genre of content. The other is how long, like how Jugal was mentioning, how long the podcast should be. The other is format. Like, for example, some podcasts have seasoned formats. So season one, then season two, you take a break in between. You sort of revisit how your first season went, which
Right.
episode
Like
garnered
limited
the,
series.
yeah. So, or the other discussion that we can have is about the duration of the podcast, whether it should be 30-minute long, 15-minute long, do people get bored, all of that. So, what are your learnings across these various perspectives of content?
See, I just believe one thing, that there is no universal rule to any particular content concept. Basically, if it's a horror, it may work for 10 minutes, it may work for 50 minutes. If it's an interview podcast, I am binging it for like 1.5 hours. But for maybe some other host, I may listen to only 5 or 10 minutes and then I'm bored. So it's all about the engagement quotient, which matters the most, rather than the timing or the frequency or anything else. Few podcasts are so intriguing that you'll actually listen to it on a regular basis. I guess Vox globally creates one podcast every day. There's a podcast called Today Explained, which is a regular podcast, and it's so exciting to listen to. So that's what I'm saying. Uh, you have to experiment on a regular basis, and what by experiment I don't mean like uh, let's explore this genre or let's explore the timings or frequency. I believe the change will come from the technology part, not from the content part, because audio as a medium has always been there. Radio has explored n number of possible integrations, n number of possible innovations, and I'm not denying the fact that there won't be any innovations in the future, but the major innovation will come from the technology. If everything is moving into the digital space, we certainly need to consider this product not as a content based company, but rather as a tech company which is serving content. Now if you like check the big billion days sale which happened like 3-4 days back with Flipkart, they sold 3.5 million audio devices in India. 3.5 million, 35 lakh audio devices, and out of that 1 million is only earphones, and rest 2.5 millions considered as speakers, a fraction of which will be smart speakers. Now your content, you are not actually now trying to capture the major portion of the pie. You're actually now expanding the pie. The pie is getting expanded. More and more players will capture that pie, and it is, I guess, now you'll have the first mover advantage. Who actually taps into that particular segment and captures the pie will be the winner at the end of the day. So yes, and that you can certainly capture only if you innovate with technology. Now we see smartphones, we are creating podcasts considering a listener is listening to you on a mobile phone. But 5 years down the line, a listener won't be listening it on just mobile phone. You're driving across the city, you have a Spotify app installed in it, you have Apple app installed in it, you have N number of apps installed in it, maybe ABP's app installed in it. You just click on the podcast and listen to a podcast. You don't need a smartphone to do that. Now we are talking about smart watches, we are talking about this smart, that smart. Consider a really cool thing like a sunglasses which is smart in nature. Bose introduced a speaker sunglasses. Consider that to be a smart. You're just going for a run and you don't need anything. You just play a podcast there and it is consumed there. So it will, and if you create a content which taps into that particular gadget or that particular device, then it's an innovation, and then actually it will break the clutter.
Right. And you are a publisher. You're not an aggregator
Right.
till now, right? So,
Till
what
now,
is
we are
your
not.
So what's your strategy going forward? Would you like to remain a publisher, or do you want to go into the aggregator space like various other platforms already are?
It's a journey we are still exploring. It's been like what 3-4 months now. We started with the publishing into the publishing space. We are creating various sets of content. We have from news to fiction to mythology, health, for personal finance. We are creating something like an audio documentary, which will be news heavy and content heavy, information heavy. So our main, what should I say? The main thought process behind is everything should be infotaining. So you should provide a decent amount of content and information. Obviously, it should be entertaining. And going forward, we may look at exploring we may explore being an aggregator, but frankly speaking, it's very early stage to comment on it. We want to move into different languages because ABP as a brand is really good in as a regional channel as well. So it makes sense for us to tap into those section and those markets and explore good content pieces.
All right, makes sense. Smriti, since you've written a blog and you're also doing a podcast, I wanted to know from a content perspective, like how is writing for a blog different from writing for a podcast? Any other
Sure, I'd
aspect
love
as
to.
well? Any other aspect that you'd like to touch in terms of these were the differences that you have to keep in mind? Like you were mentioning about reach earlier. So how did you go about building the reach for your blog? Did you apply the same method for your podcast and so on and so forth?
Sure, I'll speak to that, Pragya. But first, I'd like to also weigh in on the same topic that you were on a moment earlier about the length, because on my podcast, which is Real Talk, so the concept of my podcast is that I want to touch upon topics which actually impact our lives, a young Indian's daily life. So anything, it doesn't have to be mental health, but yes, including mental health, including office politics, including like how friendships change when you grow a little older, your late 20s, early 30s. It's not the same as college friendships, which is what we see as representation across all media, right? But nobody talks about the fact that friendships have to change. So that's the kind of stuff I like talking about. And each episode, I've experimented with the length. So I don't keep it, a particular format or a particular length. I've even tried spoken word on my podcast. And one thing I have noticed, which I'd like to, share here, is that, see, if the topic is engaging and you've built your credibility as a person who genuinely wants to share some information they have or something that they bring to the table, I think podcasting is a platform where it doesn't really matter. You do not have to package it into 10 minutes. For that matter, I take podcasting workshops, and one of the things that I tell people who want to get into podcasting is very clearly that do not worry about the length, because till you don't try, you won't know. You will not know what's working, what's not working. Do it. Let people get back to you about genuine feedback. Have a pool of people who you trust who will tell you कि यार बहुत लंबा हो गया, boring हो गया. Yeah, I couldn't sit through like 40 minutes of this conversation. But trust me, some of the very real deep conversations that I've had on my podcast, I've gotten amazing response from it. Not only from the numbers, like of course I can see the numbers, but people engaging to a point where they write in saying that this helped me, this was, useful. I'm so glad you spoke about this. No one talks about. People are so riled up. They're like, yaar, ye koi kyun nahi baat karta? About being, everyone is not fancy. Every influencer is not, the living in the lap of luxury. So why have we, why is middle class not in fashion anymore? So, people are craving that realness, and time doesn't matter. So that was one thing I wanted to talk to you about. Now to address your question about the writing, firstly, I'd like to clarify that mine is not a blog, which, when you say blogger, I think it forms a certain perception in people's minds. So it's not fashion or beauty. I anyway write about real things and real women. So I'm not all day in shoots and events. That's just not how my trajectory has worked out. And also with keeping with the Real Talk theme. Now about the writing, I would say two things. One is that they're both similar. By that, I mean, I have a certain tone of voice. I tend to keep it unfiltered, and I like to keep that across any piece of content that I write or anything that I'm vocalizing, right? Because ultimately the script meri hi hai. So it's going to have that common thread. But yes, ek ye hai that with podcasting and also the way I talk, I do not try to be the most refined person. I am who I am. I'll take my pauses. I'll do my whatever. It's fine. That's what has built that connect with my audience. Whereas, of course, if I'm writing something, I want it to be author level. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is refined to an extent. It is a nice, easy, breezy read. something that you can, I don't want you to read it and think that she's just somebody who's just penned down some thoughts. I want you to think that this is a writer sharing her perspective, So that is the main difference. But yes, if you look at it from the other point of view, that there's some big strategy for my blogs or for my podcast, that's not true. Because the theme is the same. It's all about very real, unfiltered thoughts that need to come out on some platform. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah. So also, I think keeping one theme actually makes your personal brand stronger. Because if you talk about real women on your blog and you do the same thing on your podcast, there might be
Yes.
a set of audience which wants to read, right? And there will be another set of audience which wants to listen to your podcast. So I think that makes sense. But in terms of genres, Abhi, what did you like? I understand that you said that we're experimenting and all of that, but I still want to know, like, from the range that you had till now, what has worked for you in terms of genres? Like, has Ramayana done better than the news one? How has it gone for you?
See, okay, so there are two things. One, certainly few genres will always work in a country like India, where Bollywood is like the biggest thing. So we Indians love masala. So हाँ, मतलब masala है तो सब कुछ सही है. And Bollywood certainly serves that. So obviously it will work better if you, not only for podcasting, if you see video trends, if you see tech stories trend anywhere, the Bollywood certainly captures a pretty decent portion. Apart from that, cricket is one very big, captures a pretty big portion of the pie. Apart from that, there are crimes, fiction, non-fiction, crime, and horror is one very big segment in the entire podcasting space. For us, what has worked is Ramayana Diaries, yes, because the way it is narrated and produced, it's really beautiful. And for now, we are trying to keep it, make it like a seasonal thing. We have dropped in one season of it, and we are working on exploring different content routes to it, and then we'll come up with a second season. A couple of more podcasts from our house, which is Mujhe Mehsoos Hua, that has worked really beautifully. It's a very different kind of a content piece, because it's a diary entry narrated in converted into a podcast format. So we are also experimenting with different verticals and different content routes into Mujhe Mehsoos Hua. Something which has worked really beautifully are interviews, which is we have a couple of interview shows. One is entirely into sports, one is entirely into candid conversations, one is Car Mein Patrakar with a renowned journalist, Sumit Awasthi. So if you have a really strong brand name associated with you, obviously you get a pretty good feedback from the audience as well. FYI, we started out a new podcast. It's called For Your Information. It's more of an audio explainer. We are really convinced with this podcast. We see a very big potential, and we can certainly create it into multimedia kind of a content piece. So yes, I believe that if you have a podcast and you personally feel that it's a really good content piece, don't just restrict it to only and only podcasts. You can explore multiple ways and innovations to make this really big. If, for example, if for instance, I want to create like a 3D kind of a Mujhe Mehsoos Hua in future, that can work really beautiful for me, because it's diary entry and somebody is actually speaking to my ears. It sounds so good. If I want to explore like a binaural fusion binaural beats with ASMR and creating a podcast around mental health, that will work wonders for me. So I personally feel, let the audience decide what exactly will work or not. But yes, there are a lot of approaches which needs to be brought into the entire podcasting space. For now, we are just exploring a mic and a software to record and execute a podcast, which Jugal, I guess, was commented on really well, because we need tools to make the medium flourish and make the medium really big.
Right. Thank you so much. Very, very insightful. I thought this discussion was. And let's take some questions now. So Megha is asking how to make a content plan. So I think Smriti can answer this because she's done it for her podcast, and Abhi can also answer because he's done it for so many podcasts. So Yeah, you can go on Abir, and then we'll go on to Smriti to know her perspective.
Okay, so I sit with my team on a regular basis, and we figure out a timetable or basically क्या है क्या नहीं आने वाला है. But not only that, we have to consider it as a like a new medium, and we have to act really quick. It has to be, the entire model has to be really agile, and you have to bend and create content in really short span of time. The only difference between a good content creator and a content creator is the time these days. So if you create in a short span of time a really good content, then you have everything. So I believe there is no hardcore rule for a content plan, but yes, discipline is the most important factor in the entire podcasting space. If you post a podcast every Wednesday, please ensure that you post a podcast every Wednesday. Even if you're hospitalized, do say that I am hospitalized, I won't be able to record a podcast today, this is not just a trailer, please listen to other episodes. But please do that, because if you don't follow that, then actually you are it's like शाहरुख खान के घर के सामने कोई आया है, ये शाहरुख खान सामने खड़ा है ब्रो, मतलब please can you just say hi to me, and he's like no bro I can't say. So that is actually not being loyal to your audience and not being loyal to your listeners. So I just believe be loyal to your listeners, and if they expect something out of you, do that, even if it's only 10 people, doesn't matter.
Right. Okay.
I'll add to that very quickly. I know
Yeah.
we're short on time.
Yeah.
So I completely agree with what Abhi said. As an individual, I can tell you that, that it takes a certain discipline, and you have to be clear whether you're not even confident of what you'll record this week. But if you think you're going to put out an episode, you got to do it. And like he said, leave room to be topical, because things keep happening in our world. So make sure that you also keep some, wiggle room for that. But yes, it's a very it takes a self discipline, that इस week तो blog जाना ही है, इस week तो podcast जाना ही है. And as he said, it's very important to be the kind of content creator that is consistently producing quality content, because that is the game changer in today's day.
Right. Jugal, there's a question for you, which says, if your podcast belongs to a niche category, content-wise, in a democratic space like podcasting, how do you find the right kind of audience for it? That's an interesting one.
I'll just answer it quickly. So rather than finding the right kind of audience for your particular podcast, it's at the end of the day, it's more of a marketing question than really anything else. But more importantly, for a platform like ours, we need to ensure that discovery happens. So we are not only marketing to one niche audience, we are marketing to hundreds of niche audiences, or probably 10 for major audiences, like Abir said, cricket and Bollywood, which really work well, even religion works well, and so on, right? So it's more about discovery. And to be honest, audio discovery is a major issue right now. A lot of new tools have come up which allow people to discover the right kind of podcasts, but that is something which we are still struggling with, which I think the entire audio industry is struggling with. They haven't really figured it out, even be it outside, like where podcasting really works big time, like the US and China. But having said that, a lot of, at least on a platform wise, a lot of manual creation takes place. Manual curation takes place, where the editor picks out the right kind of content. The editor kind of displays it on the homepage so that people can come and kind of discover new content. So to answer your question, it's about marketing, how you market it to the right audience, and that probably comes from the content creator, not really from the platform. As a platform, we might market it, might not market it, but at the same point of time, we need to ensure that it's discoverable, and to make sure that our algorithms pick it up if it's working really well, so that it gets discoverable by an even larger audience. Yeah.
All right. Avi, there's a question for you again. So it says, can you elaborate on the kind of supporting mediums one could use to advertise podcasts? So I actually remember on Doordarshan, I had seen just very recently while Ramayana was getting broadcasted again, there used to be an ad in Doordarshan which said about the Doordarshan application, and it used to say podcast. So probably this is something that DT is trying to ask, that would you probably use a TV to advertise podcasts, or would you use something else? What would you do to advertise podcasts?
See, I believe whenever a new medium pops into the entire market space, you don't need to actually advertise your brand. You have to actually advertise the entire medium. because a person, if he does not walks to your medium, nobody gets any particular portion of the pie. So my point is, and you can't certainly advertise podcasts to somebody who's not actually interested in that kind of a space. So with the fusion of digital marketing, I guess now we have sufficient data, and obviously it's growing day by day. We can particularly tap into a particular segment that this is the person who can actually be interested in consuming my podcast.
Personalize it.
You can personalize it, and what Jugal mentioned is actually pretty much bang on to the point, that you have to create an algorithm where exactly you get what you actually want. You don't get what our editors fits or thinks that this will be good for you. So yes, something which is very organic in nature and which actually serves a purpose.
To stop you here, Ravi. We are short on time. So
No
thank you
problem.
so much, all of you.
Thank you.
It was lovely talking to you. And HT Smartcast is present across social media platforms. So please do visit us. And for brands and individuals who are looking to invest in podcasts, we have a partner with us page on htsmartcast.com. And thank you so much for joining, everyone. Thank you so much, Smriti. Thank you,
Thanks,
Abhi.
thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.